What's up, everybody? Finally live. Scruff, I see you. Phil in the kitchen. How are y'all doing today? I uh I got this visualizer. It's finally here after all this time. It finally exists. It finally is a real thing. It's no longer a dream. I started this dream I want to say in 21 or something like that, early 22, and it was I just had this idea, like, wouldn't it be really cool if whatever music I played would bounce on a visualizer that I made rather than buying one? And I started with the microphone circuit. I went from there to a VU meter circuit. From there, I learned how to do modular synthesizer design, which was fun, and designed a whole nother skew of things. Then I ended up moving across the country from Mississippi to PA. So I'm in a whole nother time zone, across the country, in a whole new makerspace. You can't even see I have behind me all of my drawers now. They're no longer on the workbench. The workbench is no longer a thing, right? And so the new setup is basically just thrown together, try to make it work, be best I can. But anyway, one thing that I have been working on, I've worked on this thing for a hot second. I did the prototype. That was in April, I think, or May, and it worked. Like it fully functioned, and that was before the move. Then the move and a lot of other stuff happened in between, and at this point now I'm finally at the stage to where it exists as a module, and this is the face panel. There's 400 LEDs. I have a parts list right over here. But the way this ended up going, I was going to hand calculate all of this out, and my partner talked me into doing a spreadsheet instead. So the spreadsheet is just the formula in one good row. That way it'll do it automatically, and everything's rounded, and we've got, all the filters and whatnot. So now with all of that done, there's a components list over here. It's quite a lot. There's thousands of traces. there's a little over 11,000 tracks, track segments. It's not a full track, but track segments. There's 11,000 of them, and I think the outside of the LEDs, there's 400 of those. There's 40 LM39, 15 N1s. The rest of it is just a whole lot of capacitors and resistors. So, and what that is that filter. I put in a filter before each of these channels so that they do their respective frequency from 20 hertz to a kilohertz all the way up to, I think it's 19 kilohertz to 20 kilohertz. So anyway, that's the face panel. And yeah, look, beautifully healed. There you go. There's a face panel in all its glory. So you can see it on TikTok. And there's like on this side, and then goes all the way to the other side. Now, the other thing I haven't explained, Poe, welcome to the stream, is right here on the face panel, which on the overhead cam is a bit blurry. There is one input, and I took advantage of this being a panel and have 3 outputs. Also, there is a microphone hole here in the middle, which has no like plating or anything, which you can see through it. It's visible now, but once it's got a microphone in behind it, you won't be able to see the microphone. It's got a switch and a power. Now, where I messed up is on the board itself. The mic and line input switch is backwards, but that's part of DIY. It happens. But the board is, ready to go. We're going to build it. Let's go. Poe. Oh, Poe, while you're here, let me show that to you so you can see. This is the visualizer for the US system of measurements. It's 17 and 1/4 inch wide by like 8.5 tall, or maybe 8 inches tall. I don't know. It's 20 centimeters tall by 44 centimeters wide, though, for the metrics. But anyway, that's a face panel. It's a big honking thing. And then, of course, you got this little wee bitty board, the little jack socket board, right? The jack sockets plug in here. And then on the same side, the pin header plugs in. And then on this one, the pin header plugs on the back of the board. And then they kind of together. So This is probably the easiest bit of the whole thing. And then this big complicated looking board here, it's not as complicated as it looks. It's one set of circuitry here and then one channel here for the overhead camera. Let's see, there you go. It's so shiny, it's hard to see. Let me get it in here where I can zoom in. There we go. All right, so in the first channel you have a power, Euro rack power coming in, and then this is that buffered multiple here, and then you have a power switch and then the mic switch, the little header to connect the jack socket to the main board, and then the microphone actually goes here, right? But it goes on this back side, and then that sitting behind the face panel makes it, you know, allows a microphone to come in. Finishing up work, so I'll miss some of this on the way home. You're totally fine, Poe. I'm going to be streaming this until the first channel is done and this first bit is done. I do have an alternate camera on YouTube that I can switch over to Wanda and actually look at it in action and test it and whatnot. So I want to make sure it's functional. And then, of course, if it is functional, I'll do a part 2 stream where we assemble the whole thing. Hey, or should I not do that? That might be too long of a stream. I don't know. But either way it goes, we're going to get started on it. I just wanted to cover kind of what's going on. This board, it might work. It might not. You know? We're going to find out together. It's part of R&D, you know, like it's part of it. Now, while I'm here, I also want to like fix this thing. I've got this hexaputer that I've been meaning to put wires back on. They broke off. Emotional damage. So that's going to get fixed. We'll put that back to the back. So anyway, so Poe, no worries there. And then, of course, the other thing, I also have this, it's a DIY fume extractor. Okay, Scruff, you might be proud of me on this one. This one, I used a Variac basically to set this fan up. On TikTok, it's this little white thing that's just off screen, and I can turn it on full, and it's like roaring. But when I turn it down, it's not quite so bad, but it still pulls the fumes out, right? Oh, and I also upgraded I no longer have that janky plastic, the one we all get when we first start into electronics. I finally get a proper, listen to that. It's proper engineered. Anyway, let me get started on this board. Well, I'm going to put the easiest thing on first. I'm going to put the box header on. You know what? That may not actually be the easiest thing, because I forget. Hold on. There's a standard here. Gotta figure out where the other prototype is. Where is the assembled working prototype that I yeeted off my... There we go. Oh shit, I'm sorry. I knocked your bottle over. There we go. I had to find it. I knew I had one here. All right, so negative 12. That's what I thought. I just want to be sure. You know, here's the prototype, by the way. That's what it looked like before converting it to the 20 band. This great big monstrosity. But I wanted to confirm. And look, even the 12 volts. I don't know if you guys can see that on the YouTube stream. Probably not. No, of course not. There we go. You can see I got the 12 volt connections correctly. There you go. Look at that. I'm trying to get the camera focus, but you know, it's I'm out of practice. When was the last time I did a YouTube stream? Like April, May, something like that. And that was on a fixed setup. I had a fixed rig then. Now I'm on a dynamic one. Dynamic. Hope you guys are doing good though, like for real. I have not seen y'all in a minute. Scruff. I have spicied up. I have partook in what's called Citrus City OG. Very tasty. Very delicious. Oh, you know what? I might should turn on this fume extractor. See if it works. You know, that tells you how long I've never had one. So I've never actually had a need. Is it working? Is it working at all? Are the fumes being extracted? Doesn't look like it. It does not look like it's working, y'all. If it doesn't work, well, you know what? I tried. Okay. We'll blow it at it. Blow the fumes at the fume extractor. Or maybe if I opened a window on the other side of the house and created like a cross draft, it might help. I don't know. I doubt it. And these middle pins don't matter if they cross, but this does give me a perfect time to test my new solder sucker. Oh my Jesus, that just ripped it right. I'm talking about that did too much. No, it didn't. It was perfect. If I had any doubts, they're gone. Cool. One down, about 799 more to go. Something like that. C3, that's the... Oh, buried it. One UF and one UF. How about I got a couple of one. You ever just had a thought, like maybe if I apply a lot of voltage to this thing, it could go pop. Don't do that to your resistors or capacitors. These are capacitors, y'all. These are electrolytic capacitors. I'm sorry. I've been more into transistors lately. Anyway, I have not checked YouTube chat. It's like way over my shoulder. So, yeah. Looks like... What? Oh my God. Okay. I'm excited. I hope this board works. It's been kind of in works for a while. You know what I didn't get? My wire cutters. I have no wire cutters on me. Now I do. As any proper electrician should have some tools on hand, or electrical, whatever you are. Should have some tools on hand, you know? Something that might be useful. I want to get that transistor out of the way. That's a 2N3904. I happen to have a few of those. I think I got about a dozen left, maybe. So many components, y'all, I'm telling you. And I did not upgrade the transistor footprint, so it's still one of those like tight-knit, tight-packed ones. I'm telling you, look, if you've never designed your own board, you should give it a try. You should try it. Like, okay, worst case scenario, right? Build a small board. Worst case scenario, you spend $2 on the board and plus shipping. Of course, depends on where you're at. Shipping for me is like, it's kind of expensive. It's $16, but you know, I'd spend that on other things that are not so useful. But try it. You know, design something, send off for it, put it together. If you're scared to try it and you're tempted to try it, then just do it. Because let me tell you, I have sent off 3 different copies of this board before I got it working. I don't know how much I've spent on it. I know this particular order was like $160 just to get this board and every component that goes with it. So it was pricey, but you know, I've been waiting on this board for a while, and I'm glad I bought it and built it. And I knew nothing about this before I started. I literally, I had not even worked in KiCad when I started this design. I was working on a breadboard at that time, and I covered that on the videos, on the YouTube videos. But anyway, always try. Always try. Besides, if it works, well, boom, you got something cool. You've built something. If this works today, I'm going to have dancing pretty lights that will sit there and bounce to the beat of the music, which may not seem like a big deal, right? But when you're watching music on YouTube or something like that, don't you like it when there's like some lights or something just, you know? It gives me joy and dopamine. Oh, I guess I'm going to put that mic in because, look, the mic footprint's on this side, but the mic actually goes on this side. I don't know why I did that. I think it was just kind of a late night on that. But, you know. For the record, it's one of these little mic caps. They're little condenser mics. They're very sensitive. Really cool dudes. But that goes on this side. On the back, just like that. And then whenever you have the face panel on it, that face panel will cover that up. Oh my God. There we go. Cool. And to get it seated in there, you want to make sure it's kind of flush, you know, looking pretty. Does it smell like flux in here to you, Sushi? No. No, you're still good? Cool. Just making sure. I don't want it to smell like solder fumes in here because, low key, that's not good. So let's... I really hope that I got that socket correct. I did. Look at that. I always get scared when I design my own boards because, like, what if I did the wrong footprint? What if it's wrong? Well, you reorder it. Whoops. Then there's financial damage. It's that fume extractor seems to have been helping a little bit, right? Kinda. It seems to be doing something. It's not completely useless. All right, so we need 1K, 100K, 10K. Oh, shit. It's all over the place. I'm just gonna start putting in random resistors over here, y'all. Again, we're only going for the one channel and the power circuitry and the mic over here, so it doesn't have to all be done. And there's no rush. Do not race. Who are you racing? All right, so there's 1K. 10K. I love my drawers, y'all. Best decision. Don't buy them from Amazon because every time you buy them, they jack up the price, and they're only $30. They keep charging, like, first they were $30 for me, right? I went back, they were listed as $48, then they were $55, then $75. I'm like, yo, you can go buy these straight from the manufacturer for $30. So I got 10 ohm, 100 ohm. Let me put in the 100 ohms. See 100K in there too. It's like paint by numbers, except for you're not painting. And they're numbers, but they also got letters in there too. So that kind of matters a lot. You know, like 100R is a lot different than 100K. Well, like 6 digits. Anyway, I hope everybody's having a good day. I'm having a great day. It's been a long time since I've got to put a board together, or rather, one that was going on Wanda, I should say. The last board I put together that went on Wanda was the quad LFO, the modulation station. It's a quad low frequency oscillator. That was the very last thing. Very last thing to install some LEDs, a lot of them. When I say a lot of LEDs, y'all, I'm talking there's 400. 400 LEDs, not 40. The reason I went ahead and soldered some of those other components is because the resistors are really good about laying where you put them and staying there. Everything else tends to fall, get loose, and stuff like that. Da, 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 da. Dun, 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 dun. Those are different resistors. Oh my god. I know y'all are probably like bored to tears if you're not an electronics person, just needing somebody to body double with, right? It's like watching paint dry or assembling a puzzle. We won't know if it works till it's assembled. You can't even see the picture. Got to turn it on, plug it in. Pull it for Breeze commercial. Plug it in, plug it in. Seriously, that's the scary part, like plugging it in for the first time, because you're like, okay, first off, who am I going to blame? Me. You can't blame anybody else. You got to blame the person that designed it. That is me. All right, nobody. I can't. Okay, with the other stuff I've done, like the Cinco de VCO. Technically, I could blame somebody else because a lot of that was already made. All I did was convert it to a schematic. 27K. Oh, I was about to say, tell me I got a 27K on, because we calculated this out. But I didn't buy any resistors, right? I didn't calculate how many. A proper engineer way. Just buy the shit that you need. Anyway, all right. So that's all the resistors. Now there's a couple capacitors. It's 100 picofarads. 100 picofarads, a 101. Do we have 101s? We have a couple 101s. We have a few left. It's a scarily small amount left. So this is nearly done on the power circuitry. The next step after this is going to be to put together one of the channels. That'll be fun. Cool. All right. Let's get to solar. Cool. That's done. Let's get that clipped. It's going together. Come together over me. Oh man. So info dump. Since starting that business, the sticker business, I haven't updated YouTube at all, but it has successfully taken off a reasonable amount. It's been kind of stagnant this month, like earlier in the month, but that's typical, I found. Like, I actually have a couple of friends who are also makers and sell their creations, and they were telling me that it's normal for it to be slow like the first part of November. So it's been a bit slow lately, but otherwise it's been really good, and it allowed me to move to a safer place. And then, of course, I've since met a delightful partner. I've been really happy with them. And then I finally have health care. I'm in a place where I can get health care, so that's great. All right, cool. So the next thing's going to be, I got to put in some, I believe it's 18 pin. Let's double check that. I believe that's 18 pin. Yes, it is. Look at that. So this is a LM3915 up here, one here, and then this is a TLO72, which is a dual op amp version of this one. This is a TLO74, which is a quad op amp. Quad operational amplifier. Gonna operate an amplifier. Oh my god. Oh wait, look, let me tell you. I don't know about everyone's opinion or not. But socket your chips. Just do yourself that favor. Socket any chips. I don't care how cheap you think they are. Just do it. It's cheaper to unplug the chip and plug it into a new board. It's easier too. Plus, if you mess up a solder joint, I mean, you can just yeet the. It doesn't even matter if you damage it on removal. You can just get rid of the socket and put a new socket in. So, worth it. Just saying. Do that yourself a favor. Don't cheat yourself. Plus, sockets are so cheap, so cheap. They're not even worth being like skimping on. You can buy them by 1,000 for like $1. I don't know if they're $1. Don't quote. I don't know if they're actually $1. Don't quote me, y'all. Like the last time I bought them, I bought 1,000. It was like part of an order. La, da, 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 da. Oh, look at that. I'm sorry, y'all. I just bashed the microphone with my headset. I do that. I have done that almost every stream I've ever done, I think. make sure they get that Hershey's Kiss look. Settle down. You know what? That fume extractor, if it's not pulling it straight outside immediately, I would say it's at least pulling it away from my face. So, hey, you know, kind of nice. It's kind of nice not having smoke in my face. As I lean down to sniff some flux fumes. I'm just checking my work, you know? It's good to check my work. Raven, how's it going? Look how much has changed since you last did this on here. I know it, right? Raven, I'm sorry I didn't see your messages, and hopefully YouTube chat already smells like math, right? Oh, Lord. Y'all, okay. YouTube chat. All right, so let's just go down the row. It's 100 picofarad. Oh, no. That's the one that had like 60-something of them. Got to put a 101. I'm running low on the 101s. Actually, to talk about credit where credit is due, while, yes, I did design all the schematics and the like functionality and whatnot, my partner, I taught them how to work KiCad, and they actually placed all of the components and lined up all the holes and everything. I did minimal on the holes, like very minimal. Now, I think they did a great job on placement. Overall, it looks really sharp. Plus, it really looks nice whenever you look at it from a side view. 10 nanofarad. So, just thought I should point that out. 10 nanofarads on 103. Do I have 103? The next thing on my list is to get glasses because I am blind. Like, I cannot see. I can't. Where's the 103s, y'all? I can't see them. What the heck? I know I've got them. I see 105s. I see 106s. Ah, there's 102s. There's 101s, and this little box here is 104s. I guarantee that's a 104 box because I use a lot of those. Where's the 103s? What? Yo, I'm missing a whole value. That's not cool. And let me tell you, this can't be substituted. This is a very calculated circuit. I gotta have that 103. Ah, dang it. All right. I could go recalculate it and change out those values for the capacitor and the resistor, but okay. That's a lot of extra work, you know? All right, hold on. I need 10 nanofarads. Maybe it'll be in here. Is there a 10 nanofarad in this box? There is. There's 40 of them in this box. See, look, okay. Like any proper person, I prepared ahead of time. Bought a brand new thing of capacitors just for this eventual moment. And look, they even look pretty similar. 10 nanofarads is going to be 103, and here's, oh, well, duh. Okay, well, look at all those 103s right there. Easy to find, right in my face. These are monolithic ceramic capacitors, by the way. Like, I don't know if it matters. I don't really care. It just happened to be the ones I've got. And I wanted them all to look about the same, so I bought more of them. Just saying. Da, 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 la, da, da. Cool. All right, 100. I love how easy this board is to assemble because the last module I designed did not go this well. It was very kind of gridded and haphazard. There were no easy to read things on it. It was references only, is what I think it amounted to. 100 picofarad. 101. Let's use up the last of these 101s. Is there another 100 picofarad? Is this 100 picofarad? All right. Yeah, I don't mean to take so long, y'all. It's not as lined up as it used to be, like all in front of me in a nice row of drawers. It's now it's ADHD mode, okay? That's what it is. It's ADHD mode. And to be honest with you, I like it a bit better. It's more chaotic. It's better for the stimulation, keeps you going, keeps you from getting too bored, right? Trying to, well, that was quick. Well, dang it. I wanted to savor this. Wanted to savor it a bit longer. But anyway, there's only a few left to put together, and then I can put the sockets in, the chips in their sockets rather, and then I need to get some LEDs. I actually bought a 400 pack of LEDs just in case I didn't have enough. I originally bought like nearly 1,000 of the green ones, but I burned through them. I really should just get my duckbill pliers out for this. It's too late. I've already made it this far. There's no going back now. Spicy Brain says it must be done the same way you started. Forever. 20K. All right, 33 nanofarads. It's so small, you gotta like double check it. So 33 next. Is that one? Dang, y'all. We're nearly there. We got 6. Is that really? Well, that's 820. It's a good thing I don't need very many of those. For the record, if anybody's wondering why I magically have these numbers exact, it's because I knew what resistors I had, what capacitors I had, and we sat and calculated out everything or balanced everything so that there was enough to fit. Oh, look at that. The very last 101. Here comes the last 101. I know there's 60 of those to be used. So once all 60 of those are gone, but that's why I bought that other box, because I already kind of knew, like, that's a lot of capacity. Let me make sure I got enough. So that's a whole row on this side done. Let's solder that in. Da, da, da. How's everybody doing in chat? I can't see from here. Da, 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 da. Oh, I don't care about anything. Oh, I don't like it. There we go. Cool. This is going to be ready for testing very quickly. How about that? It's almost like it was meant to go together really easy and not be a pain. Cool. And now the LED. There's only 20 to put in here. So there's a flat side on there. Flat side's short, flat's negative, right? So long side is round. That's the easy way. Now, the reason I waited till this point to put these in, I actually can't solder them until it goes into the face panel. Because if I do, they could be too short or too long, and I don't really want to deal with that. So it's better it's better to put them in loose, mount it to the face panel, and then solder. And I got to do that for the switches as well, because that's all part of this board. And no, I did not do the green to yellow to red. Excuse me. I like green enough that I was like, well, I'm not normal, so it's not going to be a normal meter. I've never claimed to be normal. Don't want to be normal. No, sir. All right, so once these LEDs get in place, gotta put some switches, and then boom. Give her a test, see if it goes, see if we need to let it out. Either we'll let out magic smoke or it'll function. It just depends. I'm good either way. It'll either be cool or it won't. If it's cool, it'll be cool, and if it's not, well, you know, oh well. It'd be like that sometimes. Can I bend these off to the side for a sec? Just kind of hold them in place while I get the other board put together. Cool. And then double check that. just to keep, these are just to keep it from falling out, you know, because I've still got to, on this side, I've got to put some standoffs around the board. And actually, I'm going to put it around this board first. You know, it doesn't even account for the standoffs. Whoops. I did not put that on. I've never actually had to make a parts list till now. This is big enough I had to make a parts list so I could reference it just in case. I got tangled up in my own wires. I can't even grab those, they're so small. But I needed washers. Alright, let's see what we can do now about putting these. They should fit perfectly. They should. Yeah, I don't need washers on the front. It's just on the. I'm not saying what it is, but I gotta put washers on the other side before I put the caps on. And yeah. So let's see. Turn this board around. I really could just do it this way. It doesn't really matter as long as it gets put together. Because I mean, their standoffs, the way they're designed, as you tighten down on the next layer, it tightens down on the previous layer a little bit. So you don't want to get them too tight. You want everything to fit though. This is so cool. I love it. I built a board big enough to need 6 standoffs. All right, so top side over here, and line this up with the 6 standoff. Oh, look at that beautiful fit. Let's go. You gorgeous piece of machinery. It clicks. I love it. Very clicky. Cool. So this is it's officially clicked together, y'all. All right, now we got to fit all the LEDs in their respective holes. But before I do that, unfortunately, I actually do have to put some type of fastener on it so it doesn't like drop the board while I'm trying to do that. My hands. I can't grip those. Those are so small. I need like tweezers that lock, like ratcheting. I got some ratchet, but problem is they don't ratchet till its grip is so tight it'll destroy this thing. So a little socket would be nice, like a socket that fits this size. Anyway, we got there. Just takes a little finesse. Oh, I see why. It's free spinning in the back. I was like, why is it not doing this? Because I wasn't all the way tight. I don't need but like 2 or 3 in here. But I want to make sure they're in good, so when I go to mount the LEDs, so I'm going to mount 3. We'll put these 2 on this end and like 1 off to the right. And that'll be enough for this one channel. Oh, and I still got to take, oh, you know what? That's not all the way it for this channel. That's going to be, I still got to do the switches. But I'm not going to do those till after the LEDs because I don't want them to fall out and stuff while I'm trying to work on it. Like I said, I'm not racing anybody. Cool. It looks really nice. I like that. And just so it doesn't flop, we'll put one like, I should put way over here in this far corner. It'll be fine. Easiest one, the easiest corner to take apart. Just put it over there. All right, so now these can then be just kind of popped into place. Easier said than done. Lord Jesus. There we go. It's really easy from the side. How about that? Who knew? Oh my God. You're getting a notification. I can't even check it because I'm over here. I'm busy. Getting these LEDs to let go from the board. There we go. Those first few were like the way they were sitting. It's like, if you don't get your tail down in there, I swear. Damn it, Bobby. All right. I think that's mostly how I want them to be. I can always like reheat the solder and then adjust them. So let's put that in. Well, if it's going to be extra, you know what? I'm ambidextrous. We'll just switch hands with the solder pencil and solder the other side. What it is, the pins were in the way. Now imagine I did a super sphere, right? This sphere had like 500 LEDs in it. Oof. There we go. Cool. I'm going to cut all those out, make it easier. Oh, it's that habit. I've been habitual left-handed solder for so long. Word. Looks like, look at that beast of a PCB. Hey, Delta, how's it going? Long time no see. How have you been doing? Oh, it looks good. Let's go. Word. Now just look at this. There's what it's looking like from the front side. That's a row of LEDs. It's all mounted together. There we go. Look at that. Oh, yes. We're getting there. Now I got to take this back apart for a moment and put switches. Switches. Yeah, it's been a minute since I got to stream Delta. I moved across the country. Like I picked up and moved from a very dangerous, bad neighborhood, in a very dangerous city, in a not a very good state. I moved across the country and found a really nice, safe place, and ended up I ended up with a partner too. So it's been a really fun adventure. Let me grab some jack sockets. Hold on. Some switches. They're off to the side. Gotta make sure I have the right ones. Switch between them. Cool. Yeah, so moved across country. New partner. Shoot. It's been a lot, you know? If I'm honest. The cross country move took it out of me, so like I didn't stream right away when I moved, and I've been doing TikTok stuff a lot because TikTok, I've noticed, is a little bit, it's been putting me with my people. You know, for those of you who don't know, on the YouTube side, I'm neurodivergent. You know, I'm autistic, I'm ADHD, and so being around people like me has been kind of a hard thing to do on YouTube, right? And or on other social media. So by having my TikTok account, I've been able to be more social, and that's been really great. So, all right, let's see if this will put back together now. It should, in theory, slide right back together. Ooh, wow, excuse me. I was right on the microphone. Look at that. It just clicked right back together as if it was designed. It was as if it was designed to do that. I love it. Click, click, click. Cool. Now I can put these switches in. The thing is, you don't want to put the switches in, and I am going to have to take this back apart yet again, because again, this is just a test to make sure the module even works. Because if the module works, hallelujah. Let's go. You know what? I'm going to just put the easy ones on there because I'm not doing soldering. I can just put that there. Less anxiety is the freaking truth. That's it, Delta. It takes very little effort for me, and because I deal with executive dysfunction a lot, it's easier for me to do a vertical, quick little recording on the spot as my brain goes, hey, your spicy brain just thought of this, and it'll be gone in exactly 0.7 seconds if you don't say it right this second. That's where TikTok is useful. But like for this, where I'm building this project, it's going to take a minute. I want it to be a bit more focused, and I'm trying to show what I'm doing. YouTube is actually better for that. In this instance, I've actually got another camera set up in a different spot, and a different microphone in a different spot, so that I can switch from here to there, and you guys can hear me while I'm testing this and see it while it's being tested, instead of like sometimes in the past I had not done that. So this new setup, while I'm in a new place and all, I do actually have the ability to show you what I'm working on, instead of having to just shout it across the room at a fixed microphone. I've got another microphone just floating, you know? Good stuff. And of course, I know I haven't been in Discord lately. It's that mental health stuff, you know, like, Lord have mercy. Being able to move, I've been able to deal with mental health stuff now. Well, dealing with it doesn't mean fun. So, you know, not exactly as social as I was. But yeah, when it comes to professionalism, I'm still going to go to YouTube for like this type of thing for these videos, because it's a bit more focused. Now, remember back when you were, by the way, those of you who are on YouTube later on, the person Delta Lambda is the one that taught me how to do PCB design in KiCad. Like they literally taught me how to use KiCad. And Delta, you teaching me how to use KiCad, I taught my partner how to do this same thing. And they're the one that laid out all these components. Just thought you should know that. Oh, and there's that microphone. See the microphone kind of blended in. I don't know if you can see it on TikTok. It's very, that's a hard to get angle. I could do it like that. There you go. It's that little silver round thing right there with the hole shining through it. You see that? There you go. That little hole right there. Now I got switches installed. Hey, Diantha, how's it going? Of all of our loves and wishes, wonderful day. How's it going? I had to hold the board in front of the screen so I could read that. I'm sorry, y'all. Okay, so one channel. This is the 20 kilohertz channel. It might. Okay, here's what should happen. What should happen is it should bounce. Regardless of what's being played through it, every channel is still going to register that there's a signal going through it. All I did was filter it, and the filter is there to it reduces the volume by like 3 decibels, I think, for every stage. Now, I did only do one stage, so, you know, we'll see. But now the next step is to do the jack socket so we have something to plug into this. And I do have to put a chip on the board to put the TLO74 and drop my tweezers on the floor and stuff like that. Good times. Looking nice. Thank you, Delta. This is that Spectrum analyzer I've mentioned back in the day that I wanted to build so bad. This is it. Finally built it. It finally exists. It's a thing now. It's reality. It's so cool. I'm holding a dream. I'm holding a dream, yo. Literally. I had this idea, like, wouldn't it be really cool if I had this thing that did this dancing pretty lights? And I've done it. I did a rainbow version of it. And then I converted it to this. But I was on breadboard. This is an actual usable module. Oh, no. Not the one with the corner. No. Why? Okay. I was about to panic. I know I got to use a bunch of these, but I don't like the corner marked ones. The corner marked ones, it's supposed to be marked on pin 1A, but I don't trust it. My brain just doesn't trust that. Actually, you know what? I don't even have to do that. I can save myself the headache and grab from here very carefully, because I know these chips work, because this prototype works, as long as I don't break it. There we go. Cool. This is such a huge board, y'all. It's Delta, if I haven't told you, if you didn't catch that, this is a 44 centimeter wide Kosmo module. So it's 20 centimeters tall. Just in case you wanted to know what I'm working on. If it's worth doing, you know, it's worth doing big. Well, it didn't mean to be that big, but there's so many components and the traces on it are unreal. So, all right, let's do some more soldering. How am I doing, Diantha? I'm doing pretty good. I'm trying to juggle multiple. Do I have a function generator to use? And I do. I do have a function generator. Is it a good one? No. It's absolute garbage. It functions and it generates, but it's not a function generator. I would not call it a functional generator. Plop these in the hole. Actually, I probably need to hold on to at least one set of those. There's an order to this madness. I promise. I promise. Everything's got a reason. I have an order in my head of operations, you know, kind of. I have a gist of what should happen. Does that count? It'll get finished. I'll put these on here first, and you'll see why in a minute. Like it'll make the job that much easier. All right, cool. Now, this interfaces with 5 pins. So what I need is a 5-pin header. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pins. Now I've got a 5-pin header. Right? Right. Cool. And then I need a matching 5-pin header. And to save me counting, I can just plug it in, and then clip it. It went flying, didn't it? Oh, shit. It's gone. It has left the building. It's one of those. Oh, shit. Where does the pin headers go? There they are. It's one of those, if I don't get it now, I'll never get it. Ever. Ever. Not ever. Ever, ever. All right, so the pin headers can go here on this board. It doesn't really matter which. So we'll just do it this way. And you'll see. Actually get to use the solder sucker again. Let's go. Oh, what? It pushed it back out. Oh, and now I don't need it. Emotional damage. All right, so these pins are now seated mostly. You got to straighten them up just a smidge. That's going to feel nice. Right on. Now, squares, lower left corner. Go ahead and set that there. This can just sit, look at that, just sit right there on top of that. No problem. Easy peasy. The real question is, which one of these other pins did I use? Oh, shit, hold up. Oh no, hold up. Let me look at this schematic because I can't see through the board. It's the only drawback to not having X-ray vision. I can't remember if it's, I believe it's this pin here to the side, right? But again, certainty is something that I would rather have. I gotta love it. Hold on, it's part of it. I looked at the wrong board. Okay. Yeah, that's what I thought. It's the opposite pin. I just want to be, it's good to be sure because, you know, you go to try to play it and it's like, why doesn't it make noise? Well, did you hook up all the pins? Maybe. Cool. Now, let's take these off. This is such a big board, y'all. And this is only the very beginning. This is the very beginning of how big this board really is. This is one channel. The only thing that I'm not going to have to do twice is the power circuitry and these jack sockets. But every one of those channels, yup, 19 more times. 19. So now we got us a nice little like jack board made up, ready to go. Poe, welcome back, dude. And then I can just plug this socket in like that, plug it in. And then it plugs in the board like so. And see, that clicks in like that. And with that there, I do have to take this board apart. Emotional damage. I was hoping not to have to do that. Listen, I said I could design boards and sort of assemble them. I never said I was any good at it, right? Hey, you know, Poe, if you want to join the box, are you, since you're finally, if you're finally at a situated position, you're welcome to join me. We can, I don't know if I'll be able to, well, yeah, I should be. I'm on the iRig. I can hear you. I'll be able to hear you. I had to think about that for a minute. YouTube will not be able to hear you. So just so you know, YouTube is, it's very one-sided. It'll just be, it'll only be able to hear me. But that's because the iRig doesn't convert audio from here over to YouTube, I found out. Like, it's strictly for your phone. How's it going, Solar? I see you. I can barely see chat, y'all, so don't forgive me if I miss your chats and stuff. Like, and that it's across the board. I can barely see chat. YouTube is like 3 feet away from me and tiny, and then TikTok stream is at an angle so you guys can see what I'm actually working on. You're mad? Why are you mad? What? It's Turkey week. Why are you mad on Turkey week? All right, so this board, we got one last thing to assemble, and that's going to be this little header here. It goes on this end. And we can just kind of move stuff around to fit our needs. There we go. Cool. I gotta do that. Do a couple of those pins. Of course, I finally switched to right-handed, and now I gotta go left-handed again. Just pick a side. Dang it. Anyway, such is the way. So now this can come back over here. Bada bing. This can flip. All right, we're almost ready for the prototype. I still have a couple of little things left to do. Small things. Oop, like drop small things. That's what I meant to say. I meant to say drop small things left to do. I need to make a IDC cable, the forbidden fruit roll-up, and then put the jack sockets on this board. And that's all I'm going to do for this, like, the builder's live stream, because, oh no, I'm sorry to hear that, Solar. My condolences. After this test, I'm going to call it a day and come back at it with some fresh energy when I can assemble the other 380 LEDs in their respective circuits. As long as one channel bounces the lights and then I can get a multiple signal, then it's functional, because all the channels, the only differences in the channels are filters. So it'll be fine. Now we can plug it in. Plug it in. Let's just plug it in like so. You know what? I probably don't even need to put all of this on here, because I'm going to have to take it back apart again. I just realized that. Let me not do that to myself. Hold up. Let me just I'll put in 2 of these, and I don't even have to do the jack sockets. I mean the switches. The switches are part of the main board, so it'll be all right. So, how about this board? Let's look at that. This is basically what it'll look like, except for a whole row all the way down. And then there's the circuitry, there's the supporting circuitry for the back. And then for YouTube, And then let's go test it. All right, so YouTube, everybody, just so you know, there's going to be kind of like an audio weird change for just a sec, and we'll see what happens. As to TikTok, hold on. There, now TikTok can kind of see, sort of. All right, let's go see if this works. Oh, wait. One more thing. One more thing. I forgot the cable. Gotta make a cable for it. I forgot about that altogether. Cool. Had to make sure I had enough cable, so gotta make up an IDC. For the TikTok side of things, I guess. All right, so to make an IDC, you take these little headers and little clips on the back, and these headers just clamp down. Let me see if I can get you down. It does not want to do it. Hold on. That's aggravating. There, that's about as close as I can get it. The reason I was doing that is so you could see how this is made. There's a little arrow on this side. You can't really see it. But you use that to line up with your cable. And all of my cables, I use the darker side. So in this case, it's the black wire, and I have that come through. And then this IDC clamp comes down right up on top of it like that. And that crushes it nice and even. And then you fold it back on itself. And you plug one of these into the back of it like that. And now you have a ribbon cable made up. Got to do that for both ends. Boom. All right, let's go test it. Let's go find out if it works. Hopefully, TikTok, you can see that, right? Cool. Now, I don't actually know how well you can hear me. Hold on. Right, it's going to look nice populated. I think I've got it hooked up to where you can hear me now on the other microphone while I move around and power things on. That should not be. Oh, 1 second. So yeah, I got everything together. I got the mounting hardware. I'm gonna plug it in and see if it blows up or not. I'm not sure what is actually gonna happen. All right, moment of truth. Does it catch on fire? Oh, it turned on. Does the microphone work? Oh, look. Hey, the microphone's working. Yo, we got microphone. Let's see what the line does. Let's go. What? Okay, now. Yo. Okay. So it's alive. It works. It freaking works, y'all. It's hard to tell on the camera because of lighting and the setup and everything, but it works. The only thing that I was testing, I was 20 kilohertz. So obviously it's hard to get a visual aid on a drum beat that's in the bass range on 20 kilohertz. But, oh, that damn thing, it works. And it works on the microphone. It does work online. I have not tested the 3-line outputs, but there is no reason they shouldn't work. Again, the biggest thing was making sure that the added circuitry played nice with the circuitry that was already tested and prototyped out, right? So, fully functional board, yo. I'm freaking excited. Let's go. Oh. Victory, and that thing looks fabulous up there on that on the visualizer. So yeah, let me get this joker fully populated, and god damn, that's 400 LEDs, y'all. That's just 20 down, 380 to go, and then all the supporting circuitry. There's 38 more LM3915s left to go, and a whole shitload of other components. But anyway, look, you guys have a great day. I'm going to end the YouTube stream and call it a day. That thing is victory. Victory, yo. We won. I say we won because this was a concept that I came up with 2 years ago going, I really want a VU meter that shows me my music just dancing. And I'm just like, I just feel it in my soul. And I started with this module here, single channel. And, you know, it grew and grew and grew. And of course, those of you who don't remember the original, let me dig it out. Let me show you what this looked like in concept over a year ago. Paperwork. Schematics. I got the original, like, one that Delta helped me learn how to do this. In fact, oh look, here's some circuitry here. Boom. Full bridge rectifier. I don't actually need that, but let's see, what was this? There's a NE555 timer, some guitar circuits. Oh look, there's the original. I was gonna calculate that joker out by hand, like one at a time. Like, no sir, not on my watch. I made a formula for it. Dang it. I don't have the schematic in front of me. What? I did have a schematic in front of me. Well, you just have to take my word for it. There's a video on it already. It's where I was showing how to do a PCB etch, right? I etched it. The very first one, I literally did a toner transfer and etched myself. And then it failed. It failed twice. So then I made this thing, and it failed 2 or 3 times. And then this was the third iteration. It was successful. This third iteration actually worked. And I was like, ugh. So the only thing I added to this was a dual buffered, I added a buffered multiple going into this already buffered functional circuit. And I did that on purpose. This one channel is modular. If I add a filter to it and add a buffered multiple of any sort on the input, like if I do, okay, let's say I want 40 channels. You could do 40 channels. You could just keep adding channels. There's no rules. That you could just keep copying the sheet and then keep adding the respective power and the respective footprints and keep adding theoretically one for every, kilohertz, I guess, if you really wanted it that way. Not that it would be accurate or anything. But so I wanted 20 band times 20 LEDs. So 2 chips. These are the LM3915, which is a logarithmic visual, like a voltage unit meter, right? And it's really a useful circuit, but it's very limited. So I've made it not limited by converting it to a Euro rack power, adding an input to it, adding an on-off switch, and got it functional. Once it was functional, then I added the microphone circuit that I had designed to a buffered input. So it got buffered with a microphone, and you can choose between microphone and line in that is sent to the channels, which is using one leg of the TLO74. And then the 3 remaining legs of the TLO74 are used to give me 3 extra outputs. Because you know what? If I'm going to take up 44 centimeters of this rack, I'm going to get the most out of it. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, I can't wait to get this job finished. I'm going to call it a day today and take a much needed break, because that celebration took a lot out of me. Not going to lie, like, I'm so stoked it works. It's exciting. And when it's finished, I'm going to do like a synth stream or something. Me and Poe might do like a noisemaker or something if you're up to it. So anyway, we'll catch you guys later. I hope you have a great day. Be sure to stay hydrated, and I hope you have a happy Thanksgiving, Turkey Day tomorrow if you do Thanksgiving. Personally, I'm kind of shying away from it myself because of indigenous and things like that, but to each their own. But anyway, you have a great day, and I appreciate you guys hanging out.